Sup? A rare double 2 day in a row upload. This one, what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna kind of do a sequel to one of my earlier ones, and then it kind of relates to the one I did yesterday. So I was just like, fuck it, let's just do this. So this one's gonna be about hope maxing, the art of hope maxing. It's similar to my Art of NOTHINGMAXXING video, and where I talked a lot about how just getting into like a schedule of wasting your time is very, very detrimental, and something that I really struggled with and still do struggle with from time to time, but I've been getting better at. This one is something that I still do struggle with a little bit, but I am also getting better at, you know. Comparison between these two, I'm getting better at not nothing maxing, I'm getting better at hope maxing. So this is related to yesterday's video because I mean, it seems like there's a lot of shit going on right now in the world. Everything's, seems like it's going to shit. But if we're able to outlast everything and stay strong, we'll make something happen. And how do we do that? You got to hope max. You can't lose hope because then everything's just pointless. You look at the patterns, everything just going down. You're like, fuck it. It's just over. GG, But you can't do that. If you really want to get some shit done and do what you want to do in life, you have to continue to hope max every day. Every day. So how do you do that? Well, for me, I'd say it's partially, habit-based, where instead of having a bad habit where I just, think negatively constantly 24/7, always assume the worst out of anything that's going to happen, so on and so forth. I used to do this a long time. It used to be my primary mindset. If the worst thing didn't happen, then it's like, oh, okay, whatever. If it did, I'd be like, I knew it. See, if I always plan that the worst possible thing is going to happen and then I'm right. But then at the same time, I would always think if I never have any expectations, I won't be disappointed. And I thought of this in the bad way, because not having expectations is a good thing. It is. But you have to have no expectations. You have to expect nothing and appreciate everything. I was just having no expectations and didn't appreciate shit. So it just didn't really work out. But I would go through life just expecting the worst, expecting just bad. And then when bad did happen, I'd be like, oh, I was right. I'm correct to be thinking in this way. And when good things happen, I treat it as some sort of like rare event. Once in a blue moon, maybe something good does happen, right? But obviously, that's a very flawed mindset to have, and it did not do me any good whatsoever. And it took me some years to really break out of that and to start thinking somewhat normally again about things that happen in my day-to-day life. And partially, the other half of this, me trying to hope max more instead of just nothing maxing all day. There's something going on my monitor. Let's just close that. I got some sort of Overwatch stream up. Anyway, the other half of hope maxing being habit-based is kind of what I was talking about, rewiring my mindset to not, get into this habitual just thinking everything is negative 24/7, and it will continue to be so. The other part of that is just like, going back and correcting the part where I was like not having expectations and not appreciating everything. I started to appreciate things more, like the little things. And once you appreciate the little things, once you have the big things, the things that you want in your hands, you'll be able to appreciate them more because you were able to appreciate everything else from the ground up, right? So appreciation and being grateful for what you have is a super big buff when it comes to hope maxing. I have gotten much better at that, I would say. I'm thankful and grateful to have a roof over my head, to have food and water that I can eat, just the bare minimum basic things. You have to be grateful for those. Because, if you just ignore everything, all these good things that you do have, whatever they are, I'm just saying what's true in my case. If you ignore all those things and just focus on the bad, I mean, that's not going to benefit you whatsoever, right? So you just really need to be able to appreciate everything that's around you, but at the same time, not expect anything. And not expecting anything and then having standards for yourself of what you want to do, I'd say is different. Because if I'm, let's say I get out of school and expect to get a job for free. Did I think this? No, I didn't think this. But if I did think this, it was just going to be, oh, yeah, well, I'll have 10,000 companies at my door waiting to hire me for whatever major I got out of school in. Nah, that's not going to work. And another example to that, being like, well, I expect every single day to be good. I expect every single day to be bad. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. You just have to go into every day just thinking that you will make the best of whatever happens that day. Whatever's within your control, right? It's super, super important to separate what you can and can't control. Because if you're looking at what you can't control all day and just like all these, external factors, like everything that's going on in the world right now, I personally can't really do much about it. So all I got to do is focus on the things that I can control within my own life. And hopefully from that, live a happier and better existence overall. And hope maxing comes in here because you have to hope that you will, one, be able to live for more days, right? And be able to appreciate everything even more. But you also have to have hope for yourself and like a will to want to improve, to continue going the journey, whatever you're doing, right? It's super important. You have to have these good outlooks for yourself and not just expect that everything's immediately going to go to shit. Nothing is ever going to happen, so on and so forth. Like I was saying, you can't expect everything to go good all the time as well. You just have to, take every day as they come and walk it however you do it, I guess. Now, that phrasing didn't exactly make too much sense in my head, I don't think. But, it's just super important to continue to have hope that things will get better if they're not, better, if they're not good in the moment. You have to continue to have hope that, you'll improve at what you're doing, whatever you're working at, day by day, just following some sort of process. Like if you're going to the gym, you'll have hope that, you'll achieve your goals by consistently putting in the work and doing everything else that's required, eating good, sleeping good, hitting some cardio. That's something I need to start doing again. I haven't done that in a while. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to get into that. I just almost went on a cardio tangent. That's not what this is about. The point is, you have to have hope for the future and hope for yourself that you will be able to get the things that you desire out of life and be satisfied with the work you do and the life you live. It's true. It's true. You have to hope max. In order for things to improve around you, you have to hope max in the hopes that they do. And that brings me to my other point, which is the other partial bit of hope maxing for me personally. To be honest, sometimes for me, it's just delusion. Things could be absolutely going to shit, worst possible day of, the past few years, whatever, right? I could just be absolutely going through it. But because of the other half of hope maxing, I've habitually built up the habit of reminding myself to be grateful, to have hope for the future, to have hope, for myself that I can go get and do the things that I want to do, whatever it is in life. In those moments, everything will seem like it's going to complete shit. And because I built those habits up of reminding myself about what's important and to have hope and everything, in the moment, it feels like I'm completely deluding myself. the other negative part of my brain will try to be like, this is straight fucking delusion. This makes no fucking sense. What are you talking about? But because, you know, like I said, the habits I built up of reminding myself those things, it continues to happen. It's a, you know, a constant battling force against those negative forces inside of my brain that would lead me to just end up doing nothing and just being negative all the time about everything, right? So, you know, it is partially for myself a bit of delusion because I have to keep reminding myself, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I have to do this. I have to do this. And in the moment when I don't have these things, it seems like absolute delusion, you know, just making stuff up, right? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen any bit in the future. But if I'm able to keep reminding myself what I want and what I'm going to have, you know, then I can have hope for the future that I'll get these things. It's true. It's true. But that's going to do it for this one. I was just thinking, I was just sitting here. I'm pretty much finished with my work for today. So I was like, you know what? Why not just make a little double upload? I've been thinking about this thing. I'm going to make sure that I do this more. Whenever I'm thinking about recording something, I just record something and upload it. As soon as I think of it, boom. Or that shit won't get done. But anyway, remember to have hope for the future because sometimes it's really all you got. Even if it feels like you're completely deluding yourself, it can do nothing but benefit you, I'd say. So it's a good habit. I highly recommend it. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that's watching. You know, I'll be streaming. I'm back in town, so I'll be streaming. I'll be doing this. You know, everything. Y'all know the drill. I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate it. I'll see y'all whenever I upload next. See ya.